We regret to announce the passing of our beloved son, husband, father, grandfather, brother, cousin, friend, and neighbor, Keith Edward, also known as Marcus. He passed away tragically on the 3rd of January 2020 in California, USA. He was 56 years old. He was predeceased by his grandmothers, Evelyn Paul and Leonise Gaston, better known as Marcina Mum or Mapita. Grandfather Eversley Nicholas, his father Vino Edward, his uncle Matheson Martha. Left to mourn are his mother Lillian Edward, better known as Floris or Flor or Marveno of Roselle Castries, his wife Corinne Edward of California, USA. 7 children: Otis Edward of California, Renard Edward of California, Kiefer Edward of California, Darren Markey of Canada, Cindy Edward of San Francisco, Candace Jules of Pave Road, Keisha Edward of Brooklyn, New York. 5 brothers: Villain Edward of the Voice Printing Company, Darling Road, Alvin Vibert Edward, employed of the St. Lucia Fire Service, Wayne Christopher George of VA4, Ken Edward of California, Siobhan Daisy of Germany. His sister, Venora Edward Joseph of Roselle, employed with Noble Tree Coffee Shop, Point Seraphine, Castries. Adopted sister, Janice Weeks of Fornicoin, Castries. His mother-in-law, Geneva Fontenelle of Piat's Gap. Father-in-law, Francis Nelson, retired ex-commissioner of police. His brothers-in-law, Annie and Joseph of Roselle, employed with Home Depot Bois-d'Orange, Kendall Trim in the USA, Dale Trim, Vern Nelson, also in the USA, Shannon Nelson and Michelle Joseph, residing in France. Sisters-in-law, Heather Polios, Claire Fontenelle, Fleur Nelson, and Nicardia Nelson. 3 nephews: Jason Edward of St. Lucia, employed with the government of St. Lucia, Kyle Edward of London, England, Alvin Edward of Roselle, employed with Alternate Security. 1 niece, Garcelle Edward, student in Trinidad. 2 grandchildren, Brandon and Jada Markey of Canada. 1 grandniece, Anise Edward of Over the Bridge, Dennery. Uncles, Russell Leo, Philip Durant, taxi driver of Yellow Cab Taxi Services on the Castries waterfront. Kenneth Alfie and family in the U.S. Raymond Alfie and family in St. Lucia. Aunts, Kate Alfie and family in St. Lucia, Maggie Alfie and family both here and abroad, Vera Emanuel and family of Balka, Desmona Barnard and family of Black Bay V4, Joyce Miller and family, Van, Markey, Kerry, Alison Bishop of Barbados, Edna Miller and husband Curtis Kidd in California. His cousins, Claudia and her son Leslie Weeks in the U.S., Greta Weeks of Fornicoin, Castries, Ivana James, dental assistant of Leclerc, and Tara Weeks, nurse at Victoria Hospital, both of Onneguan. Eric Fannis and family of New York. Jacqueline Moses and family of Granivier Groselet. Sharon Fannis of Marisol. Andercock Moses and family of Castries. Hayden Pinnell of V4. Zana and family in the USA. Michael Moses, also known as Junior of Marisol, employed with DBS. Kellyanne Moses. Keon Garnier of Trinidad. Marlon Garnier. Zane Garnier. Zoe Garnier. Nigel Alphonse. Gilbert Alphonse, all of St. Lucia. Peter Flood of Bishop's Gap. Joycelyn Gaston. Timothy Gaston and family. John Gaston and family. Ruben Gaston and family. Joseph Flood, better known as Hodgeny, Taylor on Brazil Street. Jean Gaston and family. Cynthia Hunt of Black Bay V4. Marilyn Nichols and family of Vidbote. Angus Clark of San Jose. Sarah Clark and family of La Panse. John Patrick Clark and family of England. Special mention of Eugenia Pierre, Juliana Jules, and Lorimer Markey of Canada. Also left to mourn best friends, Chris Williams, also known as Topics, Ivan Mackenzie, Ricky Edmonds, Kurt Lafag of Kimlan's Restaurant, Patrick Christopher, Mr. Gabriel, his past driving instructor, and Glenn Albert of Chazelle. The Roseville community, especially John Nestor, also known as Jaws, and Coco, Stan, and Edmond. The funeral service will take place on the 30th of January 2020 in California, USA, at the High Desert Funeral Home and Chapel in Victorville, California. A memorial service for our beloved Keith Edward, also known as Marcus, will be aired in a subsequent broadcast.